Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the On the Go post show on our Facebook page. We are talking about debate coverage and as well as National Coffee Day. But again, Cleveland is at the spotlight today. I'm Danielle Wiggins here with Austin Love, Jasmine Monroe, Dave Chudowski, Maureen Kyle, as well as Holly Strano. And Holly, just need you to turn your camera because you're
Am I upside down?
yes, you're sideways. It's all good. It's just behind the scenes look. So there you
Is that
are.
better?
Yes, we got Holly together. Very good. And so, for those of you watching on Facebook, you can comment below on the topics that we are going to be discussing today. And this is our chance to connect directly with you, our viewers, so we can talk back and forth. But again, Cleveland is at the world spotlight today with the debates, and then also the Indians starting the playoff today, their playoff games. And Jasmine, you're out there right now at the Sampson Pavilion, right there near the Cleveland Clinic's main campus. Tell us, what is it like to be out there?
They tricked me. I thought I was going to be live at the Indians field, Dave.
Me too.
Oh no, it's covering this. No, I'm kidding. It's honestly been yesterday. I will say was the smooth sailing, and today was when you can really tell that things are starting to heat up. Secret Service kind of switched it up on us. They did a sweep for an hour and a half, and pretty much they just kept going, and nothing was told to us, and we kind of missed a lot of our hits this morning because of that. But it's only because of that's the things that happen. You know, you don't have any control over it, especially when the president is coming
Mhm.
in town. You know, that's all out of your hands. But the good news is, there are National Guards here. There's over 300, and they're expecting at least 100 million viewers for the debate tonight. And that's all happening here at the Sampson Pavilion. So just, I think what's on my mind the most is I'm really looking, I drove around this morning and it's like, where are the protests going to be held?
Mhm.
Sometimes they're planned. I know the Black Lives Matter Cleveland is planned um, today at the Wade Pavilion. I think that's what it's called. I don't want to misspeak, but
I
it's
think it's the
there.
lagoon, Wade
Wade
Lagoon.
Lagoon. Yeah,
Hmm.
the Wade Lagoon. And, as long as it stays safe and protests don't turn into riots, because a lot of people get those confused. Protests are peaceful, riots are not. As long as you keep that separate, I think this will be as smooth as the RNC was. I don't want to
Yes.
say smooth, but just, not so bad.
So again, the debate tonight, 9 to 10:30, at the Sampson Pavilion, right there where Jasmine is, and of course between President Donald Trump as well as former Vice President Joe Biden. A lot of topics being discussed. We got Trump and the Biden records, the Supreme Court, especially is going to be hot with. President Trump's nominee, Judge Amy Coney Barrett, COVID-19, the economy, race and violence in our cities, as well as the integrity of the election. And Austin, you spoke to some people in Northeast Ohio about what they want to hear about tonight. What was the response that you were getting?
Yeah, really interesting conversation that I was able to have. We did this last week and set out in Solon at a Giant Eagle and talked to some people that were coming there, of course, socially distant. And of course, we've had this set up to where we could do this where it's socially distant. But beside that, we haven't done a lot of interviews like this. So it was great kind of getting the pulse of what people were thinking about. And yesterday I asked the question to viewers or these participants that wanted to join me was, if you had one question, what would you ask? And if you could ask one question during the debate, what would it be? And then today I asked the question, what are the issues that you're really looking for? What do you want them to talk about? And what do you look for in your candidate? And a lot of people, of course, talking about honesty, integrity, transparency, and something that, shouldn't be hard to ask for when you're looking at a political candidate. It's something that we're all expected to be in our daily lives is, are you honest? Are you transparent? Do you have integrity? And of course, that's what so many people in Northeast Ohio and all over the country are looking for as their president. So it's going to be interesting to see Joe Biden and President Trump square off today and finally getting them one-on-one on the same stage. And I think now voters can get a really good look at who their candidate might be if they already haven't decided, or maybe some will swing.
Yeah, and we're getting some responses on social media as well. I see, Tom, you're asking about directions to the VA hospital around the debate. So one of the things, there are a number of road closures around the Cleveland Clinic. The Cleveland Clinic, they are saying that if you need to get through there, Carnegie Avenue is your best bet around that. And Maureen, you also had a really good story this morning as well. Everybody did, Jasmine and Austin as well too, but you talked about how to kind of the etiquette of talking debate with people whom you love, or politics with people that you love, your family and friends.
We saw this. I mean, all of the people that Austin talked to were so passionate. And I think that is just this election cycle. People are so passionate about an issue, a candidate. They're taking everything personally. Like, if you feel one way about this issue, then you must feel this way about me. And when it comes to families and friends, I guarantee anybody who's watching right now, you have a family member or friend who's on the opposite end of the political spectrum, right? And so these conversations come up, and especially as we're talking debate and we're going to be hearing from the candidates, you're going to get into conversations, or maybe you're totally avoiding conversations with your family and friends, and it's impossible to avoid, though, right? And one of the things that we keep saying is we need to listen to each other. Well, we're not going to listen to each other if we don't talk about it. So I talked to Kathy Dawson, who's amazing. She's a relationship expert and a coach. She's been doing it for decades. And I just asked her, when you start to get into those conversations, what's the best way around it? And she said, you have to come in with an open mind. And she's not saying it's easy. I mean, she says that everybody's ego wants to get into the way of debating and winning and making their point. But she said, the best thing to do is when your friend or family member brings up that topic and they start to talk about it, just say, tell me more about that. I want to know why it's so important to you. And they might not change your mind, but at least you are going to get to the point of understanding where they're coming from. And she says it's not about winning. When you're talking about this, it's not about winning. When you try to win the conversation, that's when you hurt your relationship. That's when friendships end and you don't talk to the person for the next few years. There are so many great points that she made. And I know that our web team is waiting for me to write up the interview and put it on online. Which
everybody's waiting for you, Mo. Waiting for you.
Right? We have to there. Facebook Live. But I always feel like Kathy is that person that, she's telling us what we need to hear. And it might not be something that we've never thought of before, but she's just that comfort of the advice you need. And especially when it comes to these relationships, you don't want to ruin your relationship over a political cycle that is going to be, the way she put it, she goes, in 5, 10, 20, 50 years, this is going to be in the history books. Hopefully your relationship won't be. Hopefully you continue to love that person.
Maureen, I thought that was, you captured so much in that interview with her. I thought it was so great. And I just love that she reeled us all in, because not only in political views, but I even compare it to just the pandemic, and we're all kind of feeling a little out of our minds. So it just reminds us all of what's most important in our worlds and in our own little universes.
We could have spent this entire time talking about Maureen's story today, because it really hit home for everybody. And as I mentioned on the air, you're not only dealing with it with your friends and your family, but now in the social media world, you deal with it with strangers every day. It's hard to get away from.
Yeah, and it's interesting because NBC, they also said that more than 70% of Americans say that like the debates and basically won't even change their mind over who they're voting for. So if the presidential candidates can't change people's mind, can we, So I did love what she said about, hey, don't throw away your relationships because you guys don't agree politically. So of course,
throwing away me and Austin's relationship is out the door. You don't agree with me, Austin, you're done.
Really quick too. I love it. The one thing she said, because she did say, it was a little shocking when she said, when you divide people into two groups, us versus them, it's me versus you. That's how wars start, and that's where we all kind of opened our eyes a little bit. But she also said peace happens one interaction at a time. So when you do encounter somebody today, or when you are on social media, you don't have to pick a fight. Just listen to what that person has to say. Maybe it will open your mind to how the other side is thinking, and why, where are these, the people who think opposite of you, where are they coming from? What is it that's behind their thinking?
Yeah,
Team
Dale
Jasmine
is
over
commenting.
Austin.
See, everybody who's watching, you guys, we have this little Austin and Jasmine. They're like brother and sister. We're a family here, so don't go away thinking like, what? They don't really get along. Yes, they do. It's just the ongoing joke. So you're welcome into our little ongoing joke.
All facade.
We need the laugh.
We love each other.
Don't believe everything you see on TV.
Y'all, we only have about a minute left, and just want to let Dale, he had a comment about what you were saying, Maureen. All of us is just, he says he's a Democrat, but his godmother is a Republican, and she voted for Donald Trump. So they just decided that they won't talk about politics because it gets very heated.
That might be the decision you come to.
Yeah.
Especially with the holidays coming up, Thanksgiving, you got to be careful, because that's when it gets heated at the dinner table.
Right.
All righty. One last thing. 30 more seconds left before you, Dave, Holly, and Maureen have to go for the Today Show, where you're going to see them on air. But we also have the Tribe tonight, so we need to know the weather forecast. Oh my gosh, it's a big night in Cleveland.
Dave, are you taking it? I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not going to do the forecast.
Dave, are you
okay?
doing the weather?
Give us the forecast.
I mean, the forecast for the game.
I'll call for snow.
Coffee
Okay?
on this National Coffee Day, and I'm not thinking clearly anymore. It's going to be fine. Isolated shower chances. Nothing that's going to cancel this game.
Okay.
Indians, Yankees, 7:00, 2 out of 3, best 2 out of 3. Bieber versus Cole tonight. Okay, Progressive Field, all 3 games. If there is a third, okay, we'll be at Progressive Field. So you want to get that win tonight with Shane Bieber. Indians back in the postseason. We are pumped up.
Woo-hoo! We're not going to sleep, you guys. We're not going to sleep.
We're not.
Realize that?
That's why it's National Coffee Day. So we could get our free coffee digs on our Facebook page, that we have all of the information there where you can get free coffee.
There's so much going on today that we're just not going to sleep. So we'll see you in, 24 hours from now.
See you later.
Still late.
All righty, keep the conversations going here. We'll be here after the show every weekday, 7:05. Check us out on the Go Facebook post show. See you guys later.
Bye.
The Tribe.